someone speak to see if I'm picking up everything correctly?
Yep. Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Metera team. This is the fifth community working session as part of an initiative that we have to be closer to the community and do more community building and understanding the best path forward for the Metera protocol. Today, we will be discussing our DAO initiatives and the whole legal side that we have been setting up for some months now, and a new a rectification process that we need to go through in order to actually become a DAO for Metera holders to have power over decision making in the future of the Metera protocol. Let me share my. Oh, you share your screen, right, Carlos? When you.
Oh, if you want, you can share it. Oh,
I'll share.
I just
So,
dropped the.
the agenda for today is a brief introduction to why we're doing this and what the DAO is all about. Then Carlos, our COO, will take over and go through the voting agenda, what is actually going to be voted and rectified via governance of the NFT holders, how this affects the future of Metera, and when the voting starts and how it's going to work. So you see. So why we're doing this, as we have been transparent over the past few years, the intention was always to have Metera work as a DAO. This is due to a couple of reasons, but mainly is to allow community members to have decision making over the future of the protocol. That means DAO participants or DAO members will be able to vote towards treasury management, approve which indexes and fund managers are able to create their own indexes within the platform, and things like parameter changes for the protocol fee, the batching fee, and some other technical parameters that are involved on a protocol level. For this, we have created a DAO LLC in the Marshall Islands. Um, we have been working with lawyers for at least a year now to understand what's the best structure that we could set up as a legal wrapper of our DAO and protocol, and that's how we ended up creating and registering a company called MP DAO LLC out of the Marshall Islands. The idea of us having a legal structure to serve as a legal wrapper for the protocol operations and our members is to make sure that liability is not upon a single community member or team member. Is since the type of instruments that we are launching involve asset management of user funds. Um, in a lot of regulations, these would be a heavily regulated um interaction or activity. But since our protocol involves non-custodial votes via smart contracts, we need something decentralized to hold those smart contracts. That's why we ended up deciding for the DAO LLC in Marshall Islands. We created the Marshall Islands LLC at least 2 months ago, if I remember correctly, Carlos. I don't have the exact date with me, but we created this LLC with us as the owners of the LLC. And what we're looking to do now is a rectification process that removes us as the owners of this LLC and gives ownership to Metera NFT and Metera token holders. So right now, let's move forward, Carlos, with the voting agenda that I'll be sharing on the screen. And this will just entail what things are going to be rectified in in the voting process, or the first voting process that this MP DAO LLC will have, and how it's gonna work. Yep. Can you guys
Okay.
see there?
Yeah. Yes. So, well, thank you for the introduction, Daniel. So, yeah, first of all, we are going to invite like all of the NFT holders to vote on this. The idea is that first we can conduct these decisions with the NFT holders, and once we have the Metera token out and the TG has happened, then we are going to move it so that the Metera token holders are the ones that are part of the DAO LLC. So yeah, basically, as Daniel said, we discussed and we have been working alongside our lawyers for over a year now to see like what's the best path to move forward. There were like some options like foundations, but we found this legal wrapper that is super interesting. That it is basically a DAO LLC. So yeah, we created the company, and yeah. So basically, the voting agenda, we want to vote on five things just to rectify most of the things that we have done, and also to change some stuff that needs to be changed. So the first thing is that we need to rectify the creation of the DAO. So as you guys know, like our intention since day one was this to be like a community driven protocol. So it makes sense to add like a legal wrapper to it in order to protect like all of the members, and also to protect like all of the stakeholders that participate within the protocol. So the first thing is to voting for us to have like a legal wrapper and to make the Metera DAO like an actual, like yeah, to have like the legal backup basically. The second is the approval of the DAO constitution. So we have been working for over some months now to create like the first version of the constitution. So in here we outline the principles, the roles, and the responsibilities within the Metera DAO. So this is what is going to like rule us and govern us. You can take a look. We can share with this document as well in the comments or something, and you can go there and you can take a look on the first version, and please provide us like some comments. Um, in the constitution, it's like the general stuff. We are going to share another document once we have it ready. That is called the operational agreement, in which it is detailed like what's the actual process that the DAO is going to follow. Uh, for example, if they want to make like a proposal, what they need to do in order to have their proposal approved. Um, so yeah, we can share that when it's ready. The third one is the approval of the legal wrapper. So yeah, as I told you, like uh, well, as Daniel told you, we have already created like a DAO LLC. Basically, we did it because of time, because as you know, we were intended to have the TG well, a month back or something, a little bit more. So we wanted to have that ready so that once the TG and the token was out there, we can make this process like much more faster. We also like discussed with the lawyers, and they suggested that we can do that like ourselves, and then just like transfer the ownership to the members of the DAO. So what we need to approve is that we want to transfer the ownership to the members of the DAO, and that we actually want to create like a legal wrapper to it, and that we are going to use the MP DAO LLC, which is the DAO LLC that was already created, to be like our legal wrapper, basically. And also, we are going to change the name from MPDAO LLC to Metera Protocol LLC. So that's the third. The fourth one is that we want to approve like the protocol parameters. So um, from a legal point of view, as you know, indexes or ETFs like may be considered a security and it has like a lot of regulation within it. But we all know that innovation goes much faster than innovation, and we actually do not hold control of the assets of the users, right? And we have been audited, and our protocol is safe, you know. So, um, so there's like not a legal uh, like rules for what we are building because all of the rules that are out there are for people that actually hold custody of the funds, but we do not hold custody of the funds. So yeah, that's like a little bit tricky, but um, how it how it is going to work is that uh, once a fund manager wants to tokenize their indexes, they will need to go through the Metera DAO, and the Metera DAO will need to approve if that index is tokenized or if it's not tokenized. And also, as you know, we have like we intend to have like our own indexes, and community members can vote to create like our own indexes that are going to be owned uh, to the Metera protocol, and the Metera protocol is going to benefit from them. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. Like all of the proposals will need to go through the DAO, and the DAO will need to approve them.
Carlos, can I add
Um,
more context there because I think it was a little bit tricky the explanation.
for
For
sure.
the Metera indexes, right? So we as a DAO are able to create and push out tokenized indexes within the platform, right? That means becoming for index managers or fund managers as a DAO itself, and all proceeds of the indexes that are being generated via the protocol will trickle back into the treasury, thus providing value to Metera holders. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Oh well, no, no, go up. So that was just the explanation. So um, we need like in this point in the protocol parameters approval, we want to approve three things. The first thing is that, as you know, we are working super close with the Cerberus DAO LLC. They have some indexes out there, but Cerberus needs Metera protocol in order to tokenize their indexes because we are the ones that are supplying with that technology. So we need the approval of the DAO in order for the Cerberus DAO and the Metera DAO LLC, the ones that are initially going to have their tokenized indexes out there. The second thing is that we need to approve those tokenized indexes. And the third one is that, as you know, like we have some fees that are going to be charged to the users. Basically, those are two things, two fees, without taking into account like the chain things, the chain fees and other kind of fees that we have discussed earlier in other community events. But the two fees that we are going to charge is first an exit and or an entry fee. So once a person like buys the MTK, the fund manager can charge them like an entry fee or an exit fee. We said that a maximum 5% in order to keep like the interest, but this can also change in the future. The DAO can modify these numbers and these parameters, and also there's like a protocol fee. Um, that that protocol fee is charged like when the people are buying the MTK, and that fee is going to go to the DAO to the DAO treasury. So the DAO is going to benefit from this protocol fee that we are charging. So we need the rectification that we want to appoint the first fund managers. We want to approve the tokenized indexes that Cerberus and us like want to push out to mainnet. And the third thing is that we want to approve those fees with those parameters. And the last one is that, well, in like, as you know, the ones that have been working with DAOs, it is much easier if we appoint some representatives to act on behalf of the DAO LLC. So how it is work is that the DAO have their votings, and once a decision is approved by the DAO and there is like on chain, and that's something that the DAO wants to do, then in order to act, it is like easy to act and to have like the decision making just to be like a few members. So initially, the Metera team will act as the representatives, and we will act on behalf of what the decision of the DAO is. So yeah, so in order to make like this process like much more easier, we want to be their representatives, and we will act on just the decision based of the DAO. So yeah, these are the points that we want to rectify with the community. So the idea is that over the next week we are going to set up all of the things that are needed to set up in order to have this voting with the NFT holders. Remember that we are going to have this voting via Clarity. Clarity is our partners in terms of the DAO. So we invite all of the NFT holders to vote on this. Uh, so as you know, we have three NFTs: the black, the whites, and the blues. Um, at this moment, like all of the NFTs are going to equal one vote. So if you have like a white, it's going to equal one vote. If you have like a black, it's going to equal like one vote. So yeah, and we will need the 51% of the voting to be yes in order for us to rectify all of these decisions. So in the next weeks, in the next week, we are going to push out in our social media and inviting people to vote on the Clarity portal to rectify these decisions. So yeah, I think that's basically it. I don't know, Daniel, you want to add something else, or the rest of the team, Lawal?
I think it would be great to hear about Lawal. He was part of the constitution creation, so perhaps Lawal, you can just speak a little bit about what it includes, what it looks to establish. Also, let's give clear that the constitution is not final; it's just a draft, and that uh, after this rectification process, via governance, changes to the constitution can also be made. The importance of the last step, the appointment of implementation representatives, is for it to be more effective, right? There's no way to have a fully on-chain protocol with governance as of right now with Cardano. So the Metera team would be serving as representatives that can only act on what is voted on chain. Wanted to add that, please, Lawal, if you're available, please tell us a little bit more about the constitution and what it entails. I can see you there, but you're muted. Can you hear us, Lawal? Oh, now we're seeing the ground. For anyone in the recording looking at this in YouTube, Give us a sec as we figure out some technical things with Lowell's mic. Lowell, are you there? I'm not sure if he's trying to speak or not. Does anyone know?
No, but we can go ahead and discuss some other stuff.
Sure. Okay,
So, well,
so
yeah, basically, yeah, go ahead.
well, I was perhaps you can give us some context about the Constitution, Carlos. Is Lowell is not able to speak. If
Yeah,
you
I don't
can
know
just
if you want to open the Constitution out there.
for sure.
It is, yeah, there. So yeah, basically, go down. You guys can go and just check. I can drop the link here as well. So as you guys know, and this is something that we have been discussing. The Metera protocol has two components, right? The first is the Metera platform, which is like the the tech provider to make tokenized indexes. And the second one is the Metera DAO, which is governed by the
Hi
Metera
guys,
holders.
can
Well,
anyone hear me now?
Yes, we can, Lowell.
This is crazy. So everything just went blank. I'm trying to speak and then I turn on camera and I couldn't put it back off and it's just crazy.
You're
So can I
good.
go
You're good.
right off?
Yes, Carlos was giving
uh,
a brief introduction to the Constitution. Perhaps you can do the introduction, Carlos, and let Lowell in for the rest.
Yeah, okay.
sure. Well, as I was saying, we have two components. The first is the Metera platform, and the second one is the Metera DAO, which is going to be governed by the Metera holders. The Metera DAO is going to be like in charge of making sure that that the protocol is on the correct path, and also they will be the ones that approve the MTKs or the tokenized indexes, both the internal, with internal I mean like uh, we as a community, as the Metera DAO, are going to push out some indexes, and we need to vote on which indexes we want to be out there. And also, we are the ones that are going to approve the external FTK. So, for example, if an external fund manager wants to use the Metera platform in order to create like a tokenized indexes, we're going to be the ones that are going to approve it or deny it. It depends. And well, so basically, like our constitution is like how we want to guide like ourselves and how do we want to guide the project. And changes to the constitution can be made, of course.
Thank you,
So
Carlos.
so
Thanks for the introduction. Lawal, are you with us? Can you speak? Let's do a test.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
yes, we can hear you. Carlos just gave an
Yeah.
introduction of the Constitution. You have been working on the Constitution alongside Carlos. Could you just please tell us what it includes and what we're trying to convey via the Constitution? Just a brief explanation of what we're looking to rectify.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks guys for joining today and yeah, a brief overview. Basically we are trying to establish the entire scope of membership within the Metera DAO and also where we are incorporated as a protocol and also as a community. So, as Carlo rightly said, this is strictly a non-profit organization, which we are still trying to hash out all of those details in the constitution, which we are going to make available in the coming days for the community to see, give us feedback before we eventually take it up for voting. So we have two components as a community, which is one of which is the Metera DAO, and the second, Carlos, can you remind me that?
And the platform, right? The DAO on the platform.
Yeah, the DAO and the platform. So basically, the DAO controls the platform. So we are trying to establish that so that each and everybody knows that the protocol is pretty much. We want to make it fully a community-driven platform, so everybody knows their rights, their obligation, and what it is expected of them to participate in as a DAO. So, yeah, pretty much that. Just like I mentioned, in the coming days, we are going to get the constitution out for the community to peruse through and give us their feedback before we fully take it up for voting through the Clarity DAO platform. So we are utilizing that as our governance contract. We are using that as a third-party governance contract because I think this brings about the collaboration and the relationship effort we are trying to establish in the community. So we are incorporating and using Clarity as our governance contract. So yeah, it's a top-level overview of what we have been working on regards to governance and the DAO formation as a whole.
Thanks, well. Just going a little bit deeper, this like we had the opportunity of hosting in Mexico City, both me and Carlitos with some other Cardano community members, a constitutional workshop for the Cardano Constitution that will be rectified in Argentina. I think we've decided to have this approach kind of in a little bit of inspiration of what happened in those workshops and what has been happening leading up to the signing of this constitution in Argentina. And basically, we're trying to provide the same context via our constitution, which is who are the members of the DAO, what capabilities they have, um, what responsibles of acting on behalf of the DAO uh, are able to do and how they need to conduct themselves, and how active members of the DAO can either request money from the treasury or ask for protocol parameters or becoming an index manager. So this whole document entails every one of those interactions within the protocol, within the DAO, and how this rectification or approval process is done. Um, as we could take a little bit of inspiration also from Project Catalyst when we say that this is an experiment and this is an initial draft open to changes and open to community feedback. That's exactly what we are looking for as we have been doing these type of sessions over the past couple of weeks. And so please make sure you guys that are in the call right now or are looking at the recording of this to go ahead and take a look at the Constitution. It was a lot of work done by Carlitos and also Lawal, which will set the basis of how our DAO is initially created. And any comments, please make sure to let the team know before we go into the voting of the rectification. Um, it's quite a reading, but really interesting and how it works. So we'll leave that in the description of the YouTube video, and the guys in the call already have access via the in chat of the meeting. Um, as far as I'm aware, we are looking to get this into a voting stage by the end of next week. Like it has mentioned before, we will be doing this via Clarity. Any NFT holder participant, well, any NFT holder can participate via Clarity and vote yes or no for this rectification process. In order to streamline everything, we have decided to both approve the creation of the well both rectify the creation of the MTE DAO LLC, setting up the legal representatives, and also the initial index managers such as Cerberus and Metera. Um, because instead of having different votes, we decided to bunch everything together into a single vote to make this quicker and more efficient since we're leading up to mainnet. So please be sure to let us know your thoughts. Um, Taking into account that we have some minutes left, anything anyone wants to add regarding the DAO or ask regarding how the DAO rectification process will work? Um, One thing that perhaps I could add, sorry, Lawal, is that right now this voting process will be done with NFT holders, but it's stated in the constitution that initially NFT holders are to be the ones participating in governance, and once we do the distribution of the Metera tokens, ownership is moved to Metera token. Please go ahead, Lawal. You wanted to add something.
Yeah, I just want to add that I think we are also ratifying the operational agreement. Correct?
Yes, but not now. Like in this initial stage, we are just going to rectify what is in the voting agenda, and the next steps will be the operational agreement once we have that ready. But yes, uh, so as I mentioned before, the operational agreement is basically a more detail of how does the actual operation of the DAO is going to look. Maybe we can provide like some insights on that. Basically, we want to have like a temp check, which is going to last around 7 days. Uh, People will need to fill out like a format uh, to see like what kind of proposal they want to push out. There are like many kinds of proposals. It can be like change to the constitution, change two parameters. If they want to suggest like an index in order to be approved. So there are like a bunch of proposals that can be made, and we detail like what's the actual process that is going to follow the proposals, basically. Yeah,
So
we can share
it's
that
so
once we
is
have
it safe to
ready.
say, Carlos, that the constitution details kind of the guardrails and parameters that the DAO will move on, and the operational agreement will dive deeper into the details of
Yes,
how the
that's
inner
correct.
working?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take this time to just give general updates on how the protocol is doing and what stage we are right now. We have had a pretty successful week of internal testing for the testnet v2. um, we found some issues mainly regarding pending orders and index managers uh, orders of updating weights that were causing some backlogs in our orders that now have been fixed. This means that unless something terribly bad happens on our internal testing, that we should be ready to go with a public testnet next week. We'll make sure to let everyone know when this is available. Also, keep in mind that this will have a second round of a test and earn program with pretty much the same tasks as the last test and earn, but using the new smart contracts that we have. And everything is leading up pretty good to have a mainnet by the end of the year, before the year ends, I should say. So we'll keep you guys posted on everything related to the testnet and mainnet. Um, and we would appreciate everyone's help on testing out our testnet v2. If we do a great job on testing us as a community, then our path towards mainnet will be smoother, because we really need to simulate what would happen once we reach mainnet. So please take it seriously. We would appreciate that. You'll also be able to earn some tokens because of the testing, but really exciting times ahead of us. I think we mainly have people here that are part of the team that already knew a lot about the Constitution. We have Beach, which is a community member out of Spain, which awesome to see you here, man. I appreciate you. Um, Anyone wants to add something, or should we call the meeting?
Just that, please take a look on the constitution and the voting agenda, and if you have like any suggestions, please feel free to approach to us so that we can discuss. And also, remember that over the next week we are going to have to share more details of this voting, so that you guys can be aware. And if you have NFTs, please feel free to vote, and yeah, be ready for that. Thank you, guys.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate it. I will stop the recording now. We will be sharing these via YouTube.